I'm recording this episode at the San Antonio airport just after the PCA events of PCA en Espanol and the Residential Conference. This is One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik. Change. Data plus feelings. The PCA, the Painting Contractors Association, is a nonprofit with origins in the late 1800s. For 140 years, this organization has advocated for the people who paint and the businesses that employ them. It goes without saying that this organization has gone through some changes. The PCA is operated during the Indian Wars, the Spanish-American Wars, the Panic of 1893, the invention of air travel, World War I, the Great Depression, World War II, the invention of the telephone, the internet, and now artificial intelligence, and so many other major U.S. and world events. I was gifted a typewriter-written history of the PCA when I joined the board of directors. It was created in the 1950s by a committee of members. Some highlights I observed. In the late 1800s, labor was a huge issue. Sound familiar? Sort of. About 63% of our industry is comprised of humans who speak Spanish currently. The members of the PCA in the late 1800s were complaining about the lack of immigrants to supply the industry, but not from Spanish-speaking countries. They were worried about the threat of lessened immigration from Eastern European countries like Poland. 140 years later, immigration is still a topic of much discussion and of much opportunity. Another hot topic in the turn of the 20th century, standards in the industry. PCA members were concerned that there were no widely adopted quality standards and that clients were dealing with fragmented and unprofessionalized craftspeople and businesses. To this day, we still direct much of our resources at the PCA to support the professionalization and defragmentation of the industry. One topic of much debate in the late 1800s that I really thought was interesting, the introduction of ready-mix paint by a few little upstart paint manufacturers, you may have heard of them, called Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore. Master craftspeople saw this as an imminent threat to their trade. If paint came mixed already, where's the value in painters, master craftspeople? Remember, painters in the late 1800s used to mix raw ingredients for paint on site, grind their own pigments, and tint their own paint as well. This was one of the first bouts with emerging technology in our industry. A decade ago, when I attended these events, I saw an aging populace. There was also a feeling of semi-stagnation, or maybe more accurately, lack of rugged innovation and excitement. The people I met were foundational to my professional life, and it felt like we were on the cusp of something great and new, but it was lacking something. As I sit in San Antonio, Texas, with a few hundred of my compatriots, change is all around me. Educational topics this weekend centered around genuine leadership, mindset of transformational leaders, and other things you would never expect to see in the trades. The room is younger, more diverse, and way more entrepreneurial. Curiosity is through the roof, and you can feel the buzz of excitement. As I ideate about my time associated with this group, I realize how social media has brought about this change, brought together this new, young group of decent human beings that craved connection in an industry known for being closed off. Online connections start conversations. Conversations create invitations to further togetherness. The seeking of further togetherness leads to industry events and eventually friendships. I see that in this room now. Some things will never change. Labor, leads, technology, innovations, and challenges that come with them. But humans seeking connections with others who are building freedom machines to provide surplus values for themselves, their families, their businesses, and their communities will never change. I can see the end of my formal directorship in the distance, having served nearly 6 years on the board of directors. I will hand this beautiful organization over to the next and better leader in early 2026. There will be major changes in our industry and this organization over the next few years. But the spirit of those visionaries who founded this nonprofit over 140 years ago will live on in the beautiful dreams of the craftspeople and entrepreneurs of this organization, the PCA. This has been One Page Weekly with Nick Slavik.